Well, you guys we have a bag, and it's full of
mail.
It's full of mail. Mailbag. I like that one. It gave me shivers.
It felt
right.
Appropriate for the season.
It did.
I feel like.
We told you guys that we were sad I think I said I was sad because there was no emails, and you guys fucking came through.
You came through, so thank you.
You came through with the emails.
Thank you. We have we actually have quite
almost
a few.
too many emails.
What are we gonna do with all these emails?
Yeah, Kevin was like, should I quit the show? I was like, no, we gotta power through it.
I know. It was touch and go there for a minute. I was like.
But I told him that we just had to go through the mailbag.
I was just like blackout drunk, sleeping with my head in my fridge. Like it was as bad as it gets.
Yeah. You want to go first?
I'll go first.
You always love going first.
I do. Yeah, I love it. And nothing I love more than going first. All right, so this one is from Carlo.
Okay.
Hi, Carlo. Crud Buddies.
Yeah, they have some. Okay, plug in right now. They have some cool shirts. Have you seen their shirts they just put on?
No.
Some website. I forgot what it's called, but they have some really cool shirt designs, including a Black Roses shirt that I'm eyeing.
What? Oh, we just watched Black Roses.
We did just watch that, and some other cool stuff. A Millhouse Houseu shirt.
All right. I'm looking at it.
I know that's
right.
It's in your wheelhouse.
Carlos says, "Hey Kevin and Emily, heard you wanted some questions, so here are 2.5. What's the most head-scratching example you've ever had of a so bad it's good movie? And additionally, do you believe so bad it's good even exists, or is just some kind of bad movie privilege where limited exposure to non-mainstream cinema needs to be categorized to make sense?"
I like the term bad movie privilege. I think we all need to check our bad movie privilege right now.
Well, yeah. Well, and I mean, there's movies I think are fucking bad, and I think there's movies that are bad, but like a lot of the movies that I hate these days are ones that are like the worst movie of this year in my opinion is the Fast 9. The Fast and the Furious movie, it fucking
You heard
sucked.
it here first, you guys. Kevin's
it's
hot
so
take.
bad.
Hot take on the Fast 9.
It's so long. It's so bad. It keeps trying to make you believe that John Cena and Vin Diesel are brothers, and
like actually,
yeah,
are they supposed to be?
I don't. Yeah, they're in the movie. It doesn't. It never works. It's terrible, and it's like a million years long.
Worst movie of the year, huh?
Worst movie of the year. So, but smaller movies, I don't know. But
well, it's like we dig some like shot on video shit that's like you find value in, or you find joy, or you find fun in the experience, but you can look at it and be like, well, this isn't like expertly made.
Right.
You know what I mean? But does that mean it's bad? I don't think so. I think that if I am enjoying myself while watching a movie, and if I'm like, oh my god, that was fun, or like I have liked watching that, I think that makes it a good movie for me.
Yeah.
Tied in with like camp too, like I love like Showgirls, and like 80s horror, and then like Lifetime thrillers, and like all of that. If I'm enjoying it and I'm watching it, I'm not turning it off, and I'm like having a good time, I think that's a good movie for me. So I think good movies are subjective, and I don't like calling them bad.
That's true. But then sometimes I'm like,
but then if something's bad, then it's just bad.
This fucking sucks, and so I have to call it out. So
right. So if something's bad, then I'm just gonna say it's so bad, it's bad.
Yeah. If it's a new Fast and the Furious movie, it's bad.
It's bad. It's worst of the year. You guys heard it here first.
I wrote down a couple big ones that I've heard over the years of so bad it's good. Point Break being one that pops up a lot. I think it's because
that's so good. It's good
because Keanu is like very wooden in it and stuff, and I think it has this. I think for a long time it was like this like laughable but I think a bunch of us that grew up on it and now like love it and go like, oh, actually no, this is
a fucking camera.
This is really fucking.
Catherine Bigelow's fucking camera.
So that's one, and the De Palma, a lot of De Palma, honestly, I think people would say is so bad it's good.
Well, I feel like
I think they're wrong on a lot of them.
Also, what's interesting is you have your podcast.
Right, where we do a lot of movies. We talk about a lot of like
De Palma-esque rip-off kind of movies, kind of neo-noir stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, our show borders on, it's not intentionally supposed to be a so bad it's good movie podcast where we're going like, look at these bad movies. But sometimes it's like, oh, these are just very bad. These are just very bad movies.
Right.
But yeah, for sure. But Scarface is one I think that like a lot of people like find laughable, but I just think it's a fucking great
performance.
Movie. Yeah, and I've been but I think his performance is amazing. You know?
I agree with you.
But the big one that I've heard before is Evil Dead 2, where people will be like, "It's so bad it's good" movie, and that's just one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's great.
I think that's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. One of the greatest comedies ever made, and so it's hard for me to be like, well, what's bad? It's like when you watch it, go, like, what's bad about it? And it's just, I think a lot of it's like
low budget or whatever.
Sort of low budget, and the special effects are like, oh, look at how corny that is. And so I think it is, and that answers your second part of the question, which is like, yeah, I think limited exposure to non-mainstream cinema, which is a weird way to. It's a mouthful, but it's true. I think that's what it is. And we have an unlimited exposure to non-mainstream cinema.
Right,
so
exactly.
We've been spoiled that way. What about you? When you have a couple?
I mean, I just wrote down, like I mentioned earlier, like Showgirls and 80s horror left. I didn't really go into details about it because that's like, I think a lot of stuff that I like might be considered bad.
Right.
And I don't want to think about that. Blow my brain up like that? Come on. Like I love like. Also, I love like Michael Bay movies and like big budget emotional blockbusters that maybe it's like there's different levels too, because then it's like, okay, maybe the masses of theater goers are going to be stoked on it and think it's good, but then like the circles that I run in, like the film circles, just kidding. the people who are like film people are like no, that's like stupid and bad. But I'm like, well, I kind of like the big budget in your face, like super sentimentality of like Michael Bay and James Cameron, or like, you know what I mean? So that's another level of that, I guess.
Well, if we want to get into some galaxy brain bad Bay talks, we'll get our friend Matt Lynch on here talking about Transformers 2 and stuff. Yeah. Which we've talked at length on in one of our Patreon episodes on our podcast too. But a movie that I've seen probably 6 times, which is an objectively terrible thing that shouldn't exist.
Louise wants to eat the new microphone.
I can't have that.
Go.
No,
Go.
You can't eat microphones. Aiden, come up here. But Transformers 2 is like a objectively terrible movie. Yeah. That shouldn't exist and is only causes bad in the world causes problems by existing, but is also fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, oh, you know, we love The Room, or what's that guy's name? Fateful Findings, Neil Breen.
Oh, Neil Breen.
And that stuff's fun, but it's like the experience is fun. I'm not gonna like sit. I'm not gonna be like, I'm alone tonight. I think I'll just throw on, you know, like I'm here now.
Well, it's good. Well, we're gonna get our friends from the Friday Night's Bad Movies on here sometime. And
we really should.
They can do some picks on that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's kind of anyway. So there's that. Also. Carla was like, also I've been watching a lot of Barbara Stanwyck movies lately, so please tell me your favorite Barbara Stanwyck movie that is not Double Indemnity. And I'll go first because I looked through her filmography today and realized that I have not seen a ton of Barbara Stanwyck movies, although I've seen some of the big ones. And besides Double Indemnity, my 2 favorites actually are comedies, Ball of Fire and The Lady Eve. So don't be distracted by the little dog.
It's hard for me, and I've had her for 3
I'm
weeks.
talking to the audience. You can be distracted all you want.
So you've asked the right bitch about Barbara Stanwyck, because she is one of my absolute favorite actresses ever. She's like so sassy and beautiful and strong and cool and funny, and I just think she's amazing. So I agree with Lady Eve, Ball of Fire. Basically anything I've seen her in is just like delightful. So you're in luck that the holiday season is coming up, because you get 2 Stanwyck movies that you can watch. Christmas in Connecticut, which is fantastic, and you also have Remember the Night, which is where Barbara Stanwyck is a shoplifter who, instead of going to jail, I don't even really know what happens. She goes to this guy's house for the holidays.
Well, no spoilers. Check it out. You like it, though,
Yeah,
right?
It's amazing. Okay. So both of those are great for the holiday season. And then if you're looking for like more of a thriller, mystery, some murder and crime, I would check out Night Nurse, as well as The Strange Love of Martha Ivers. And then 2 kind of underseen ones. I actually talked about this on an early episode of Viva, No Man of Her Own.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where she's in that like train accident. She takes on the identity of someone else. I did
watch that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
and
such
then
a generic title. I think when I was flipping through them, I'm like, I haven't seen the movie called No Man of
yeah, no, that one's really great, and I don't think a lot of people have seen it. And then there's a Douglas Sirk movie called There's Always Tomorrow, which is like a great melodramatic romance where she like falls in love with like a married man and stuff, and it's heartbreaking and funny and good. And honestly, I have a bunch more recommendations. If you run out of Barbara Stanwyck, I mean, honestly, just go through her filmography. She's great.
One of Rich's picks for his Halloween thing had Barbara Stanwyck in it. The one of the two that I watched with him, The House That Would Not Die.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's a TV movie. It's a later career it's the Aaron Spelling TV thing.
Yeah.
So it's from like 1970. It's 1970 or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1970s. She's good in it.
She's just so great. She has such a good energy, and she's one of my favorite people to see. Like her, Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, those two women are two of my favorites to see in like anything they do, just to like see how they do it, you know? So yeah, Carlo, tell us what you've been watching, Barbara Stanwyck wise. Like, what do you like?
Let me know if you watched those two, or if you've seen those ones that I recommended.
Yeah, they're all great.
Just because
have you guys seen Clash by Night?
It's gonna go long.
Clash by Night? Yes, nope. I feel like I have.
It's with Robert Ryan, and she has an affair with a guy, and he dies, and she gets an inheritance, and the guy's family sues her for the inheritance.
I think I've seen it.
It's Fritz Long.
Oh, Long.
Fritz Shays Long. Oh, look at this. Started to eat the.
Oh no! You don't want me to have this paper, do you? Yeah, no. Here.
She wants you to have it, but she wants to eat part of it.
We have a message from Connor. He says, "Hello, Emalie and Kevin. This Halloween, I dressed up as Eddie Valiant, the iconic Bob Hoskins role from one of my favorite films of all time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Since we're now in Noirvember, what are some of your favorite film noirs? Along with Roger Rabbit, I also love Detour, Kiss Me Deadly, Odd Man Out, Victim, and Double Indemnity." Thanks, Connor. And then we'll put a better image up, but we got this awesome photo of Connor as Eddie Valiant. A tune killed his brother, okay?
Dropped the piano on his head.
I hate tunes.
I hate tunes.
Tune killed my brother. Good job. But here, you wrote your answers.
I wrote my answers on there, so I need that back, I guess.
Yeah.
The suspense is killing us. We were like, can we figure out a way to do Roger Rabbit?
And I kind of want to rewatch that soon.
And we did. It's so good. We did it in our, it was like a LA neo-noir episode, so we did that. Devil in a Blue Dress and Mulholland Falls.
Cool.
Not good. But the other two, but Devil in a Blue Dress.
I don't think I've seen Mulholland Falls.
But it was just it was like a good mix. We're like, we got to get Roger, because Roger Rabbit is actually like a film.
It is.
It's a film noir.
It totally is.
It's like a throwback noir. It's like Chinatown, but it's got, fucking tunes in it.
Yeah.
It's great.
That and the detective office where she's playing patty cake.
I know. It's all good.
Didn't you talk about in a previous episode Persistence of Vision?
I did.
Yeah.
Yep, and then there you go.
Which is a documentary about the
guy,
animator.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you did. Here are some film noirs that I really like. Everyone loves Double Indemnity all around.
Yep.
We can get that out of the way. Out of the Past is a great one. I just listed these, and now I'm like, they're all blending in my brain, but just trust me, all of these are good. Out of the Past is good. Blue Gardenia is one of my favorites. Leave Her to Heaven, which I talked about on an earlier episode of the show. You watched it for the first time because of me.
Because of you.
That's a colorful noir.
Yeah.
You guys will like that. Did I already say Out of the Past? Probably. Lady from Shanghai.
Oh, yeah.
Is a super wacky, outrageous one. And yeah, those are the ones. I've seen a lot, but those I think are the ones. I'm going to be talking about one a little later in this episode too, so that I really like.
Cool. I wrote down a couple here. Murder by Contract is one that I've seen the most recent, which I think is sort of low budget noir, and most of it's like this guy, the killer, like this like hitman from back east hanging out with these two other hitmen.
Love hitmen just hanging out, you guys.
You watch it and you kind of go like, did Tarantino watch it? Not that he did, but it's like really, it's like got that vibe of like, this guy is like here to do a job, and the guy's like, when's he gonna do the job? And they're like, hey, he wants to hang out. He's like, let's go to the beach. And so it's just like him hanging out with these two other goons for a lot of the movie. Dead End, not Wyler. William Wyler. Fucking awesome. The Setup, Robert Wise. Scarlet Street, Fritz Long again.
I haven't seen that one.
With the good old
Ricardo Montalban?
No, Edward G. Robinson.
Just kidding.
Eddie G. Robinson. The Narrow Margin.
We're gonna have to exchange lists after this, Kevin, because I want to see yours.
And I ended with a classic, with a French one, Diabolique. The original Diabolique, the remake of Diabolique is a fucking piece of shit. But the original's
so good.
The original one is a fucking masterpiece, and watch that for sure. And I didn't even get it. I was like, do I dare get into neo-noirs?
No, I just didn't. I love
was like, nope,
neo-noirs
I'm not gonna do that.
If you guys have, I was gonna ask if you guys watching have any neo-noir recommendations for me and Kevin. We've seen a lot of them, but we would love to hear. I always love learning of new gems.
And noirs too, because that's like a kind of it's like almost like rom-coms.
I feel like noirs are easier to find though than neo-noirs because they're not as explicitly categorized.
I've watched so many neo-noirs for our podcast so I've watched almost more of those than the film noir stuff. I'm like, I haven't watched this, and like those run together. Those run together for me the same way that Shaw Brothers movies do. If I watch like 2 or 3 of them in a row, I'm like, which one was the one with the guy who was smoking in the room and the lady?
Ooh, I just watched a noir recently that was also kind of like a horror movie called The Seventh Victim. It's about this girl who like gets caught up in this satanic cult, and then her sister has to go and like find out where she is. And it's like set in like 40s New York, and it's really, really cool.
Funny thing about that movie is
the girl has a really cool haircut because we have the same bangs. Yeah, I know.
When they wrote that movie, he was given the title. And it's like, we're going to call this movie The Seventh Victim.
And then you had to write it to that?
That goes to that title.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, no, I really liked that one. It was good.
So there's a few of our favorite.
And thank you for the photo too.
A few
you did
of
great.
Our favorite noirs.
Oh my god.
The reason I said Ricardo Montalban,
right? It just sometimes it just takes you over.
Sometimes Kevin just like busts out an original song and it's beautiful.
Well, it was like it was a riff on the Sound of Music, but
yeah, but I mean, you and Ariana Grande.
The reason I said Ricardo Montalban when he said Scarlet Street is because he's in Mystery Street, which is another noir. Which is an interesting noir because it's one of the very first ones that actually brings forensics into.
Oh, rad.
And before we go,
which is even interestinger because forensics didn't even become like a well done practice of crime solving until like 2000.
Yeah, and CSI came on.
Yeah. Forensic Files.
And since you mentioned Ricardo Montalban, real quick before we move on, the Border Incident is also a really great like noir where it's like him versus it's like Mexico versus America, law enforcement, gangsters kind of thing. Early kind of thing like that. So.
And then you said that your pick was the Big Clock.
The Big Clock, and also The Glass Key, if you haven't seen that.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
With Veronica Lake.
Okay, who would love her? All 3 of us need to exchange our film noir lists because everything sounds great. Hashtag November.
All right.
Okay, your turn for more mailbag.
Okay,
you guys, this mailbag is just...
Ooh, it keeps going.
It's a thick one.
It's never ending. So Colin sends an email. He says, "Hey, Kevin and Emily, I hope you're both doing well." We are. Like everyone else, I've been watching a lot of movies this year. So many that it became apparent I could easily watch a movie from every year. I only have a few years left, but they're all from the 20s, and I could use some help with navigating the silent film section. I'm missing 1921, 1922, and 1925. Any recommendations would be greatly appreciated. Viva Physical Media, Colin.
It's a blind spot for me, those older films. Actually, out of all those 3 years, I've only seen 2 movies, and those are 1922's Haxan, Witchcraft Through the Ages, and Nosferatu. Right. And I'm so sorry.
No, that's good.
I'm sorry, Colin. I failed you.
Well, I've got a bigger list. From 1921, Destiny by Fritz Lang. Excellent. I mean, any silent Fritz Lang is great, but like
we're really talking
really
up cool. Fritz Lang.
I mean,
he might be a good filmmaker. I don't know.
He's pretty good. He was pretty good. So Destiny. I can't remember the director who it is, but The Man Who Laughs from 1921 is also excellent. And Phantom Carriage by Victor Schnorr. I don't know. It's Swedish.
We're gonna call him Schnorr.
He was like that's kind of one of the first. It's an early horror movie, and it's also a good Halloween movie. But it's also like I think it takes place on Christmas, so it's like seasonal. With like so it sort of like has a good fall vibe. Now's a good time to watch The Phantom Carriage. If you haven't seen it. So Phantom Carriage from 1922. You already said Haxan and Nosferatu, so I won't say those. But despite its reputation as like all being faked and stuff, Nanook of the North I still think is a movie worth checking out. Even though it's like, not necessarily technically a documentary, it still is a fascinating movie that they made at the time. So
I've heard good
definitely,
things.
if you haven't seen that, check it out. And also another Fritz Lang,
Dude, you're such a Lang
Dr.
head.
Mabuse the Gambler. The Mabuse movies are awesome. Check out the future ones too, are also great. And from 25, The Gold Rush, probably maybe my favorite Charlie Chaplin, but maybe because that was like, or driving like a couple towns over to see it in like a theater with the organ when I was like in high school.
That's
My friend
so
and I drove over there, and we were like, it was rad. So The Unholy Three by Todd Browning, which is a cool
Todd Browning rules.
Yep, and The Phantom of the Opera from 25 is awesome.
Wow.
The original Phantom of the Opera.
I guess I should also be filling in my blind spots there. I haven't seen like barely anything from the 20s, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and that was like kind of me going through like that and going like, those specific years. But I mean, I do love silent cinema. And I think it is like a blind spot for a lot of people. And I think it's like where there's just a shit ton of really awesome stuff from those those years. Anyway.
All right, we have a final mailbag.
Yeah, and I did bad on this one. You wrote down a couple.
I wrote down, but I also did kind of bad.
Oh shit.
All right, Ethan. Hi, Emalie and Kevin. Checking in some dog pics and a question for you. First, the dog pics. This is Shiner. She's an Australian cattle dog, and she's dressed up either as a dinosaur or currently being eaten by a dinosaur, depending on your perspective.
Her perspective is currently being eaten by a dinosaur from the pictures.
I love currently being eaten. I love Forever Young because October 31st is also her birthday. Yeah. So it's a 2-in-1 celebration. And as a woman with a holiday birthday as well, I respect it. Question time. One of my favorite things to do is pair up movies for double features. These can occur in a variety of ways, similar visual styles, similar plot beat or topic, or completely different takes on the same idea. If you had the chance to plan some double features for a local theater that had to be themed in this way, not by actor, director, etc., what would you choose as your double feature? Extra points for thinking of a creative name for it. I gave it a try as well. Here's what he came up with, and these are awesome. A, the fantastic, I don't know why you categorize these as ABC. Anyways, A, the Fantastic Mr. Fox and Chicken Run, which me and my brother used to be obsessed with when we were younger. We love Chicken Run.
It's a funny movie.
Yeah, and I need to revisit that. And that double feature is called The Coop, Breaking In and Breaking Out. B, 10 Cloverfield Lane and Hidden for agoraphobia. C, Good Burger and The Founder for fast food capitalism.
Wow, okay.
So Ethan, these are great. We did not get, it's funny because I always think of this kind of stuff too. I always think of this. I'm always like, oh, this would be such a great double feature if I had a movie theater. But now that you've asked me the question that I apparently have been waiting to be asked, like I can't just come up with it.
Do you have any written down?
Yeah, I have some written down, but I didn't come up with fun names like Ethan did.
I didn't come up with any either, but let me think of a couple off the top of my head. So I see the poster for Legend, so I would say Legend and Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
Oh, that'd be a really beautiful one.
Right?
Yes.
Am I almost too beautiful?
Yeah, and that would be, the title would be Too Beautiful. Two numbers. Oh, a fun thing would be, you guys, if you wanted to tell us, email us one movie, we'll come up with the second part of the double feature.
Oh,
that's
I like
fun,
that.
right?
I think that's fun.
So if you want to do that for next time, go ahead. Viva at scarecrow.com.
Shit, what was the one I had one in my head?
My first one is, instead of The Real Housewives, it's called The Real House Witches, which is not good at all. And it is Season of the Witch, Romero's Season of the Witch, and Burn Witch Burn, which is also known as Night of the Eagle.
Oh, you know another one that would be good with Season of the Witch is the Chantal Ackerman movie, Jeanne Dillman.
Oh, yeah.
Etc., Her Address or whatever.
Also Diary of a Mad Housewife.
Yes.
But I went with explicit witchcraft in this, though.
Yeah.
But I also, we could do a bunch of housewife ones.
No, I just thought that I was like, oh, that'd be a good.
That would be yours then. Okay, yeah.
Stealing one of your picks.
See, this is why it's easier if you guys give us one. Okay, then my next one is The Red Shoes, paired with Black Swan.
Yeah.
As a little ballet, Swan Lake, feminine identity madness.
Right.
There's no name for that.
What if you did Mother and like Repulsion or something?
I was thinking Mother and Uncut Gems for just like so much
Holy
anxiety.
Shit, that's okay.
You know? But I didn't write it down.
You know what's funny?
Because it was too much stress.
Speaking of Uncut Gems, I was talking to our coworker John today because I was mentioning that Shiva Baby was one of my favorites of the year, and he was saying that movie made him really uncomfortable, and he liked it, but that it was so much more stressful than Uncut Gems. And so if you want a double feature where you just where you want to just fucking
feature.
or well, if you want a double feature where you just want to stress yourself out so fucking hard, Uncut Gems and Shiva Baby would be the way
And
to
then
go.
add Mother too.
And then watch a season of Curb Your Enthusiasm afterwards.
Jesus. Okay, then my third one was this one's called Girls Rock, and it's Starstruck, which we talked about on one of the earlier episodes, the Gillian Anderson movie, paired with Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains.
Oh, that's good.
It's a good one, huh?
That's solid.
So yeah, I feel like if I tap into this energy, I could really crank out some good double features. But maybe you guys email us like one and we'll pair it. That's a fun game.
Yeah, Benji and Benji the Hunted and the Bear, which I think I mentioned when we were talking about Benji the Hunted.
Okay, what about Sorcerer that I just watched, and then that Herzog movie where he puts the boat over the mountain.
Oh, and Fitzcarraldo?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, see, like I feel like I could go. This is one of those things where I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, Ethan, you're not gonna be here because I don't know where you live.
It's true. I think of these all the time, and then like when you asked, I was like, I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't think of any. And like also, this is like something I do weekly with our podcast.
That's what I was thinking too. And you guys come up with funny names too.
Yeah, we have a nightmare text thread that we've recently have started to like 3 years in to like actually have catalog because it'll be like, what did we talk about 2 months ago? I'm like, I don't know.
But you guys come up with like the funny names too.
And we come up with funny names too.
Yeah, you guys just did the desert one, and it's just deserts, which I like. What was the Deborah Winger one?
Abracadabra was what we had people vote on Twitter.
This is good. This is the good stuff here. See, we have it in us, or at least he does. But yeah,
there's two other guys too.
I got one.
And I'm sorry. And
Rich
I was gonna ask if Rich had one because before Rich does his, I wanted to apologize for not being prepared. But maybe stay tuned next time. I'm gonna try and write some down and I'll come up with some
or
better
send us
ones.
one-offs too.
And also thanks for the pictures. Rich has one. Go.
Okay. Bad Ronald
Okay.
and Bad Boy Bubby. Bad parents.
Like it.
The bad boy double.
Sold.
There you have it. Those are our double features. And that's the end of Mailbag. If you want to email us viva@scarecrow.com. I don't think we said that very much.
Oh, we didn't say that at all.
Viva@scarecrow.com. You'll see it. Email us whatever you want.
That's right.
Within reason.
Mailbag.
Mailbag.